And I would say this in terms of the predictions, and I know the spirit in which you asked the question, but there's a market out there all the time, and people love to hear predictions. I mean, if I said I was going to offer a bunch of predictions today, I mean, we would have 1 million people here. I mean, they're dying to have predictions and speeches at Rotary clubs or trade associations or whatever. They just plain love it, and that's what a whole industry is built upon. You know, the people coming out of Washington that talk about political predictions, and I don't read those in the paper at all because it's space fillers basically. And you mentioned Edgar Cayce, Ben Graham knew Edgar Cayce pretty well, but I just have never seen any utility to any of that at all. There will be some huge surprises in the world. There's no question about that. But I don't think that betting on any specific one is a very smart policy. In fact, we usually bet against them in terms of super catastrophes. We know there will be a 7.0 or greater quake in California in the next 50 years. We don't know where it'll be or when it'll be or anything like that. We're willing to pay out a lot of money if it happens tomorrow. And because people do worry about catastrophes, and in this case it's perfectly proper with insured values, but it just isn't any way, in our view, to get through economic life.
All of these economists with 160 IQs that spend their life studying it, can you name me one super wealthy economist that's ever made money out of securities? No. I mean, just go down the list. No, Keynes actually, in his early years, tried to make money in stocks by predicting what business would do, and he gave it up. And then he went over to a Graham-type approach. I mean, it's very interesting to read his history on this, because he thought he could, by looking at various economic variables, pick what he called the credit cycle and make a lot of money. And he went broke a couple of times in doing it, had to borrow from people. And then he settled on buying good businesses cheap that he understood and concentrating his investments. And he did very well. It's an interesting history. But if you look at the whole history of them, you know, they don't make a lot of money buying and selling stocks, but people who buy and sell stocks listen to them, which is, I have a little trouble with that.
It really doesn't make any difference. I mean, we don't pay any attention to what people say about Coca-Cola stock or Gillette stock or any of those things. I mean, on any given day, 2 million shares of Coca-Cola may trade. That's a lot of people selling, a lot of people buying it. If you talk to one person, you'd hear one thing, and talk to another. You really should not make decisions in securities based on what other people think. If you're doing that, you should think about doing something else, because a public opinion poll will not get you rich in Wall Street. So you really want to stick with businesses that you feel you can somehow evaluate yourself. And Charlie and I, we don't read anything about what the economy is going to do, or the market's going to do, or what anytime I see some article that says, you know, these analysts say this or that about some business, it doesn't mean anything to us. You cannot get rich with a weather vane.
Thanks for watching. If you have found value, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.